What's up, Jesus lovers? Welcome back to another video here in the Mount St. Helens area. See the mountains, got another cool view out there. But yeah, we're here with like around 70, 80 young Slavic leaders in the West Coast area. This is the round 2 of the Sons and Servants clip of us unifying the body all across America, casting vision of what's possible in our day and generation as we really unite and be a body together. So we've been here 2 days at this retreat center. It's been a radical time of just Lord encountering our hearts in unity and in love. And so yeah, we're just gonna get in there and I'll show you just a few different things that we've been doing. Welcome Manifesto fam to Sons and Servants.
It's the job of the worship leader to help people focus their attention on Jesus. But he said, once they're already gazing, my job is just to get out of the way. You know? And my job is just to bring them to that place, and that means sometimes we're no longer like singing songs. Because sometimes the songs and the choruses are coming out, and they keep us engaged in this thing, but actually God, we're already gazing on him, and he wants to kind of speak about something else, you know? And so I love, the meek worship leaders we have, where they bring us to gaze, but they're not, then they just get out of the way and they're just kind of resting. Yeah.
When we lift him high and minister unto him, he can do whatever he wants. And that's the goal. Yeah. The goal is that we hear God's heart, but we hear his heart in the adoration of God. If you're not singing the song, like, that's not the goal. The goal is that you're wrapped up into him. You're in his presence. And that's everything. That's our life, because that's where life begins to flourish and inside of us bubble up, and we get to have life. We get to live life because we receive life, and so that's in his presence. That's him. We're talking about Jesus. That's just something that I practice. Jesus, here I am, and I give you all of my attention, and I worship you, for you are worthy. Number one reason, and we can just stay there. We don't need another reason. Just because you're worthy, period, I'm going to worship. But if I want to get other reasons, go ahead. But literally, you are worthy of my worship and my attention, so this is why I give it to you. And I minister unto your heart. He's seeking for people to minister unto his heart, and from that place, he gets to be Lord and gets to do whatever he wants.
Like a moment in time where a certain ecosystem can be hosted, or a heart can be hosted, in which people are generally encouraged to lay down their hats and to come together. So one is like something like this, where we have, again, different hats and we're kind of laying them down to worship together. And as we do that, we just come together in love, right? And then we come out of that, and all of a sudden our hats don't matter anymore, right? And so worship is obviously is a big one. But that can be tricky too, because you get Baptists together, Pentecostals, Charismatics, like, hey, what does worship look like? And it's easier for us as Charismatics and Pentecostals to come down and say, hey, play the old hymns. Let's just sing Yakalem. Let's just worship. Yeah. Let's just, you guys bring the worship. We come down and serve you, right? So that's powerful. Something else we hosted in Jacksonville was called Jesus Day Jax. This is the second year we've done it. But it's just a day of evangelism. We just get together at like an old hotel that has a courtyard like this. We worship together, and then we just go out on the streets and evangelize, right? And kind of bring people back in. And then if you let them to Jesus, you take them to your church. And so it's attracted, Baptists, all these different people. And so, as kind of like Slavic was saying, when you get guys going to war, all of a sudden you get the Baptist grandmother walking with the Pentecostal young guy from YWAM, and all of a sudden they don't care, they're after this guy, and you find yourself ministering, they're just walking together as a team, and they lay down their hats. Oh, I don't need my title. And so I think generally organizing wineskins in which this heart can be hosted, and realizing the ability of a few moments to acculturate people into the kingdom. You don't have to teach on honor, right, in some ways. I mean, we need to. But if you host it in those moments, facilitate it, it tastes so good that they don't want the other anymore. So yeah. So A lot of times we think, when we take over the city, like, Lord, I want to take over the city, and we do. But realizing you're going to probably be rocking the wave over here with your tribe and getting a few other tribes, and He's going to show you wisdom. And there's going to be other guys over there, different communities, Hispanic communities, or American communities that we're never going to touch. It's not going to be the centralized Portland is reached, where everyone is answering to like these 3 guys in a room. It's going to be us just getting our downloads from the Lord and just pressing forth faithfully, and that's why it's always good to just be. It could be a small thing, but it could be key. But that's why I've learned at least to create wineskins like this, where a heart can be hosted, in which we're all marked with something, right, by the Lord, and then we just walk out and our hats don't matter anymore.
What I saw earlier today when we just were praying for each other, we partnered up, and the atmosphere there was such a freedom in the place that we were releasing words over each other, and I just saw this place as like a birthing ground, this fellowship for people to really step into what they're being called to. I see this as a birth ground for people to become and step out and feel safe and secure about what God is putting on their heart, to really grab that and run with it, because there's such a culture of honor here for the body, for every person. That's what the fullness comes on, and that just touched me like in a very heavy way today.
One thing is we need each other way more than we realize. So a gathering like this is so good just to connect with each other, be with each other, allow God to knit us in His presence. So that's been kind of something. And then another thing is honor, bro. We've been talking about like if there's divisions, what do you do? How to have a mentor. And God's been just highlighting honor in my heart, bro. Like, yeah, just seeing the value of honor and how that's like so amazing, and that's what we can receive from each other, man.
One time God gave me a vision of me typing an email and like showing me like doing it unto Him, and it's like it was such a weird thought, but like we have to begin to do that, because
Anything that's really impacting for me is like everyone here is from all over the nation, and we're just getting together and loving Jesus and sharing like what He's doing. And I've been hearing about people going to different places and just like doing a bunch of different things. So I'm just so stoked to be like partnering with the whole Slavic community of America.
let's go. Thank you.
Come on, just real quick, what you guys got?
Guys, it's been an amazing time. We're building this friendship here, drinking kvass together. And we had this Q&A, and I personally realized you got to surround yourself with the right people, with the people with the same mindset, and just go together.
Praise God.
Yeah, hallelujah.
Between 2 people that carry the same revelation, and one is knitted with a body and is equipping the body of Christ all over the world, and one is completely isolated.
Wow.
And if you think that the revelation alone separated them, no, it's their character. It's their lack of understanding. So don't think that your revelation that's the cost. That's the price of revelation, is that you become alone on your island and isolated, suffering for the truth. Know that your revelation only makes you more effective to equip and love the body. All the gifts of the Spirit are for the benefit of others. Okay, so I just saw that contrast and I thought, I don't want to be that guy. Like, I want to learn to always, as I'm working the thing that God has called me to supply, because each member supplies. As I'm working that thing, I need to always be aware of the body. Create an atmosphere. He says we're spiritual people. We are spirit before we are soul. He's like, that thing when you're walking and somebody's walking behind you, you don't see them or hear them, but you turn to look who's there. You sense it. Beyond what you see and hear, but in your spirit, because we're spiritual beings. And he says, well, the atmosphere, the inner reality, the inner atmosphere you create is what you will manifest. So for instance, you can come to a person and tell them, I love you, but your inner atmosphere doesn't align with those words. They won't even hear what you're saying. In fact, they'll be frustrated by what you're saying. So I think focusing on that, becoming a reality inside of us. It's that principle, you know, of the lawyer that came to Jesus and it's like, hey, there's like 614 laws. Like, what's the point? I can't even remember them all. And he says, hey, it's summed up in this: love God and love your neighbor as yourself. And so that principle there is loving yourself. In other words, becoming whole, becoming a son, being set free from being a victim, enables you to love your neighbor.
Yeah.
And so I think focusing on that, and what does that look like? Begin to actually release words over that person that's maybe opposing you. Like in secret, right? Yeah, in secret. Like you begin to create that atmosphere. Like, this is a child of God. He's anointed. He's called by God. You begin to almost like shift your focus from the conflict or maybe the nakedness to everything that they are. And he served people. He loves people. Does he love people? Yes, he loves people. And then when that mindset, that atmosphere is changed within you towards that person, you come up, you look them in the eyes, and you say, I love you, and it creates a whole different effect. And so that's helped me. I actually practice that all the time now. And I saw, it might be like simple, but listen, if you really apply this, it brought so much change and transformation into my heart. Ministry stopped being the goal. Ministry is simply a result of intimacy.
That's right. Yes.
And so what do I want? I don't want to marry a task. I want to marry Jesus.
Yeah.
What do I want? I want to be where he is. I don't want to become religious. And, you know, I told people like half of the songs I stopped singing because I'm like, half of them I don't believe. What I'm confessing, I don't even believe that. I don't want to say that. And the other half, I'm like thinking, do I really mean that? Like, is my heart really engaged? And so I just want to challenge us to application and to really see the power of this manifesting.
I was kind of in the planning process from the very get-go, from the beginning. And as it got closer, I had such an anticipation and like almost like I couldn't. It was like, you know, you get giddy and it's like it's crazy. But then even being here, it's like it blew me out of the water. It's like it exceeds what I thought I could even imagine. And then just hearing all these revelations, but then seeing the unity of everybody together and how there's like one spirit, one mind, and the humility between everybody else, where everybody's preferring everybody above themselves or before them. It just blew me out of the water.
What were you doing outside the flow?
Yo.
I know something more better than gold and silver. Yeah, I just get in the river. Oh.
Call me a ground tiller cause I'm breaking the soil. It ain't about me, but I know that I'm royal. Got the armor of God, G-O-D. Living in Portland like 503. That's the area code if you didn't know. But all I know, Jesus Manifesto, the show that you should watch, subscribe, go down below. Whoa, yeah. Switch it up, let's go slow.
All right, y'all, that's a wrap for this Sons and Servants here on the West Coast. We have Timmy here, a manifesto. He's part of the fam. He watches the videos, and he's gonna close out for this weekend for us.
Yes, guys, we're wrapping up. It's been the most glorious weekend of this, maybe the entire year. You guys have to jump on Jesus Manifesto, subscribe, like, do all this stuff you have to do, because there's something monumental happening through this. So bless you guys.
Hey, I got some in that. Drop it. Some bars.
Missionaries in Arabia, salvation bringing to the homes of the children. Let it get them to the Father's arms, where they can see the arms. Oil dripping, heavy presence on him. Release the kingdom, releasing and casting out demons and raising the dead, cleansing the lepers, healing sick too. All I really know is Jesus got me. And I ain't trying to be so cocky. I know it sounds loud, but
I know that God got me.
I know that God.
Oh, you gotta do the little.